Let's talk some toys in here.
Hey, what's going on everyone today? It's the Man-Child. Okay, so today for review, we're going to take a look at the new Masters of the Universe Origins Cartoon Collection Catra figure, Jealous Beauty. So yeah, I had her for a while on card, I just haven't gotten a chance to review her, so I am now. Side that, another good looking cartoon collection female to add to the line. I like that she comes with a miniature statue of her, cat in her cat form, which turns into that cat. But at the same time, kind of a tease. I wish they would have made a full-size version, a little bit larger version, go back to, the regular scale, how it was in the animation. But aside that, that's a good start. Looks pretty cool. And of course, she comes on this newer style card, like a lot of these cartoon figures are coming with. Really sturdy, really excellent art. Of course, you got the 40th anniversary Shira sticker all the way up to the left-hand side. And here's a look at the art and back of Catra's packaging. So yeah, it just shows Catra morphing into her cat form, or I guess it was a scene going back to Magic Cats from what they're showing over here. That was part of the Princess Power animation. Then dropping down to the left-hand side, once again, it just shows that Catra comes with the cat form, right? So we see in the front of the packaging. She can twist into powerful battle positions, but she doesn't come with any of the weapons and accessories. And then moving over to the right, or a quick look at the cross-sell. So we have Faker and Leech, which I already reviewed. Of course, we're reviewing Catra now. And of course, I showed a Cartoon Collection logo up top. Okay, before we take a look at Catra and her accessories, or her cat form accessory, she comes with a new comic. So it's the same comic that both Leech and Faker came with. I already showed this in my last two reviews with those, so I'm not going to really go too crazy with it. But yeah, it's called The Onslaught to Snake Mountain. Really cool cover. You have her cat form, right? Catra, Leech, Snake Mountain. You have He-Man with that vintage blaster accessory. I'm just going to flip the book, take a quick look at it. If you want to pause and read it, you can. A lot of cool stuff going on in this comic. The Slime Pit. I'm really surprised they didn't announce that at New York Toy Fair. They showed, the Fright Zone's coming out and a lot of cool stuff. But I really expected a Slime Pit. They didn't. All right, there's that. So this was called a Beam Blaster, I think. It was a 2-pack. I mentioned that in my other review. I remember having it in the vintage collection. Flip the next page. We got Manosaur too, another vehicle. Surprised they didn't announce for the Horde. And one thing at a time. I'm glad we're getting a Fright Zone. Looks really cool. Multibot 2. Surprised they didn't announce him. I have a feeling a lot of stuff they put off till San Diego Comic-Con, which is in July. Oh, Laser Bolt. I showed that in my one review. I still have that piece. All right, go to the next page. One of these. There's Faker in bottom. White eyes. Just like that. That's it. And here's a quick look around with Catra and her cat form or accessories out of package. Alright, so one other thing I want to show before we take a look at Catra and her accessory, I want to bring in my Ninjor. So for you Turtles of Grayskull collectors, right, I already reviewed this figure. He's really cool. He came with a pair of the Turtles of Grayskull mechanical Hordak wings, and if you watch my review, I had a lot of problems with mine. They were broken. They are cool for Hordak, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, they should have gave him some kind of dragon wings. That would have been really neat. So as you can see, I got rid of the mechanical wings and I put custom wings on this figure. Now, another reason why I'm bringing this in too, because I didn't review it, I reviewed the figure, but I didn't show the custom with the wings. It was just something I decided to do. I did post it on Instagram and I kind of got a lot of feedback and questions, regarding how I did it, what I used. So if you don't mind real quick, I'm going to show you. Check that out. That is how this figure should have looked, or similar wings should have came with him instead of just reusing the mechanical wings off Hordak, which it kind of didn't make sense the more I thought about it. And check that out again. So that's the wings I used. I'm showing you an image of the dragon. I got it off eBay for really cheap. He was like broken or something, had problems. I took it apart and I removed the wings. I did do some painting in here. This part wasn't purple. I just used like a acrylic purple paint. Stuck really well. Okay, but check, they articulate. They have articulation in and out. Now they can spin, but what I had to do, I did have to modify them. I did do a little custom work. So I took his armor apart, and these wings, when you remove them from the dragon, they're round pegs. They didn't fit in here. I kind of filed them to where they were like octagon, because the inside of these inserts are octagon, and fit them that way. And that kind of prevents the wing from falling up and down. So you can't really articulate them unless you remove the armor and loosen the screw. Yeah, and actually they had screws that went into these pieces off the dragon. You kind of see them in there. And then I just use this little gray piece to reinforce the armor because the wings are heavy and they want to make this armor pop a lot. So you pull this out and you break it, you can actually see the screws in there. And I had to make little washers to, recess the wings. So again, it's not a custom video how he did it. You kind of get the idea. But if you're interested, putting some wings on his figure, or customize it in your own way, this is the wings I use. And I showed you that, you can see that, you've seen that image of the, what I got from eBay and kind of how I did it. They work good, and they look awesome on this Ninjor. So once again, jumping back over to Catra and taking a closer look at her head sculpt and face. Yeah, really beautiful. I mean, just the sculpt, the overall paint, the eyes, the high eyeshadow in her lips. She has it's a feminine but a sinister look, just at least around the eyes. Because I noticed in Masterverse, Catra just, I don't know, she didn't have that feel to her. She came out really pretty, but didn't have the same feel. I like this better. It's kind of like a little bit similar with the Classics one did. But anyway, now of course she comes with the mask, right? Now it's on top of the hair. Now what's cool with that is it has a band that goes all the way around. At first I thought it plugged in, but no, it just sits up there with the band. You can slide it down very easily. Cover her eyes with a little mask, right? Looks like that. Really cool looking blue hair. See the way it's sculpted, painted. Flip around, there's the back, long hair. Pretty flexible, and it's also on a peg that you can spin it left to right. It looks like you can take it out, but I don't know. It looks like, trying to look in there. It's not something meant to come out. Why would you? But it is on a peg, and it does articulate somewhat on my figure. So keep the mask down a little bit. So as far as the articulation with the head and hair, of course, her K-piece on. She can look all the way to the left, and the hair does hit the shoulder, but good articulation. All the way to the right. Look all the way down, and as far as you're going to go back, because again, the long hair is going to hit the cape or the back, her back. So now dropping down, she has this, the collar piece. You can see little shoulder type of armor. Okay, so that's how the cape. The cape hooks onto that. Just look from the back. Quick look at the cape. Yeah, it does what it has to do. It's a rubber material, very flexible. It's a nice looking purple. I'm sure you can get custom cloth. Well, I don't know if you can, because you'd have to separate from this armor. So it's all part of this armor. And you can see that, how sloppy it is until you set it, and then it sits like that. All right, let's pull the mask back up for a second, overhead. And I guess you can remove this too. Maybe I should do that. Yeah, all right, so I think. All right, I'm doing this wrong. Let's take the head off the body. There you go. So I'm going to pop the head off, and you remove the mask that way. That's easier. And there's a look at her neck peg and, the rest of the body. And real quick, while we have the head off the body, here's a closer look at the cape, off the body, obviously. So there's the inside. We talked about the back. And you can take a better look at this collar piece that goes around. And, yeah, this is all, like, snapped and glued in. I think it's all, I don't know if they're two different pieces. Yeah, they kind of look like it, but they're glued together. And then, of course, she gets her little cat mask. Close look at that. Nothing much to it. It's really soft, and it's about it between the two. Okay, once again, I put everything back on, moving down to her chest and butt area and arms. So, yeah, she has this light suit piece, or light type of armor, I call it. It's, yeah, like a bright red color, very soft. You have the cuts down at the hips. You have the Hordak bat symbol that's sculpted outwards and painted like an orange color, all part of the armor. Same thing with this belt that goes around. Again, it's like sculpted out, but all part of the armor painted orange. Flip around, and it just comes down around her lower back. So obviously this is all exposed. Okay. Now, it looks like this is a separate piece. All right, we'll check it out. We'll remove it in a second. I think you have to remove the waist. She does spin at the waist. This. Moving back up to the arms, she has the female cartoon style new arms. As far as articulation, you can go all the way out, right down to the waist again, forward, back. You can spin at the elbow, bend the elbow all the way up to the face and body. Really good articulation. She has these, yeah, obviously, bracers or gauntlets they're all part of the forearm, it looks like, but just painted, but sculpted outwards. The left side's all the same. She comes with two of these weapon gripping hands. And they can spin. The hinge joints, I think, just go up and down or in and out. Actually, this one goes up and down. How about that? Okay. And then the other arm's all the same with the articulation, but this hinge joint goes in or out. And hand can spin. Of course, they can come out. So going back to this piece, all right, again, let's finish up the articulation. So we already talked about she could spin at the waist and dropping down. She has, again, a female cartoon style legs. Oh man, mine has like dents in it and extra paint or something. Anyway, as far as the articulation, go all the way out with a split. Okay, kick forward, go back, bend at the knee, spin at the knee. Let's test out the other leg. Kick forward, back, same thing, spin. And then going down to her ankles, she has these really cool looking high boots. They can spin and, okay, they look like they can come out, peg somewhere in here. I'm just going to leave them on. But yeah, I like the style of those. And then, she has the foot with the high heels, like a high heel at the bottom, and the articulation with the foot and go up and down and rock or spin side to side. And the other boot and foot is all the same. So once again, moving up to her armor piece, to remove it, it looks like, let me see. Okay, so she breaks at the waist. There's a look at her waist piece, and it looks like this. Okay, it pulls her off the body like so, and then put her back together. She still kind of has a suit on. Right, looks like a bathing suit or leotard or something. Right, looks like that. And then here's a closer look at this piece off the body. And now, taking a look at Catra's accessories or her cat form. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's really good detail. I gotta say that. Paint, it's just the tail is somewhat rubbery and can move all around, but it's pre-posed. Nothing articulates on it that I can see. Right, it has her little piece of armor on the back with the fins. It's a closer look at the head sculpt. The head has a really good head sculpt. Open mouth with sculpted painted teeth, jaw. Now again, I don't think that. Nope, that doesn't articulate either. Of course, she has her mask on with the glowing yellow eyes. Ears, look from the other side. Very top and the bottom. So again, it's a really cool accessory that we get this. But yeah, it's a tease. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I kind of wish we would have had a full-size version. So this should be like twice the size, if not bigger, when she bends forward and turns into the cat form. But it's a good start anyway. She gets this. Moving on with one comparison, because that's all I really have that's worth it to this cartoon Catra. I do have the Classics one still in card, but she looks quite different. But anyway, so yeah, here's a quick comparison between the new cartoon Catra and the Masterverse Catra. So, she comes with a bigger shield, which I think the vintage figure might have come with, or something similar, but this is detailed so much cooler with the cat face, the big gem on it. She does come with a wand or some type of scepter. I guess it's a wand. You can see the differences in the faces. This is an excellent head sculpt. She has black hair in the back, but yeah, she just doesn't look mean and evil enough, I don't think. Close, but could have been better. They did a really good job on her. I like that look for Catra. You can just see the overall suit. Move this out of the way. The boots, the armor. And she gets a cloth. She does have a figure stand, excuse me. So she has a cloth cape, which that would probably look good on this figure. I don't know if that would work. Does this piece come off? Yeah, let me put that piece on this cartoon one, see what that looks like. Okay, and here's a quick look at that setup. So yeah, I put the Masterverse wand and obviously this Catra's hand. She does hold it well with the grip. So that looks cool. Let's give her something different since she doesn't come with a weapon inside her cat form. And the cape looks awesome on her. So I took the head off. Even this little collar piece, it's this one's a little more elaborate with the shoulder pieces, but these are similar, but they point up. Where this one just, you can see the differences. And then, yeah, check that out with the cloth cape in the back. Fits perfect. Right to the ground. Right, it's a shoulder piece in the back. Yeah, you can't use the heads because the pegs are totally different. Thought about trying the heads around. This one looks a little bigger. I don't know, but aside that, if you had the Masterverse one or curious what she would look like with a cloth cape or different armor, at least the one that comes off the Masterverse one, if you had it, or another one, or you wanted to sacrifice a figure, that's what it looked like on this cartoon one. And yeah, I like that a lot better than this plastic cape. But again, this does the job for what they give you. So that about does it. That's my review on a new Master Universe Origins Cartoon Collection Catra figure. Yeah, she looks beautiful. Came out really good for this cartoon collection. Looks great with the Horde faction. It's good to finally have an evil female added to the line. And I believe they also announced Scorpia, Shadow Weaver. We have Grizzlor coming out. They're going to do them all. I can't wait. And, it's her hair looks good. I like the armor, the face sculpt. Cape does what it has to do. The cloth one looks a lot better, but, again, does a job for a cartoon collection figure, being a rubber cape. I think one of the most impressive parts, aside the undersize I mentioned a couple times, is this her cat form. I mean, the collar, the sculpt, the open mouth. Yeah, that's so cool that they included that. But yeah, maybe we'll get a full size version down the road. I'd prefer that. Now it's more of a pet cat instead of her in her cat form. As I already mentioned a couple times, again, it's a good start. But aside that, yeah, it's just awesome to have Catra added to the line. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching. And until next time, take care.